the lifestyle we're all living is hectic, and it's not good for anybody. It's not good for us. It's not good for children. A lot of so we have to realize that the entire school system, starting with the idea of putting children into kindergarten, which is a German word, came about because people had to go into the factories. They needed to work. Before, children were in the fields and sort of playing around, and the ones that were big enough to help would help in the fields, but they were still in a kind of country setting. Then when the Industrial Revolution, that changed, the factories were dangerous. So unless the children were like, child labor and working in the factories, they could not be around the factories because they were actually dangerous places. So the problem became of where do we put these children? So everything about schools, starting, kindergarten, whenever they start, or all the way to the idea of having to learn 8 to 3, Monday to Friday, has no pedagogical basis. It is simply a babysitting because your parents are too busy to look after you.
So basically, if I'm understanding correctly, and I also believe this, parenting and child development is being structured and has been influenced by work, by parents needing to work and the working industry.
Yes, exactly. So that's why you see the more capitalist the country is, the more that you will see a great demand on mothers separating. You have to separate from this child, and you have to go to work. And I think that it is something so deeply unnatural for us. And it is a cultural separation. It is a very big cultural separation, which is not natural for human beings. Human beings crave contact. We need contact. We need it, especially in our early lives. But even as adults, we need it because we need to feel secure. There were these studies in the 50s by a British doctor who, by then, what basically happened culturally was that the lower classes during the Industrial Revolution were all like in a bedroom, all sleeping with their children, basically because they were poor, and that was what humanity has always been used to. We find cave people buried together, and they would all sleep together as a family because we need that warmth, we need that even physical contact, that connection. But then during the Industrial Revolution, it became very posh, let's say, to have a bedroom or a nursery for the child, which was basically, unheard of. It was seen as you'd be rich if you had an extra bedroom, and you would put your child in there, and that child, as all babies do, if they're separated, would scream their heads off. But we've kind of come to, because the separation started from there, and then it became so severe, during the 60s, 70s, people believed that you would spoil a child if you pick them up.